my nan was still alive, I could have put her on a pallet, saved me the train fare.
Hello, welcome to the Woodturning podcast. My name's Mark.
And my name is Will. Welcome.
And I am Garry. How you doing?
In this episode, Steve joins us once again. Garry talks about his incense burner he was asked to make. Mark's got himself a new chainsaw. And we talk everything segmented turning.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Not too bad yourself.
All good, thanks.
Steve is back with us for this episode.
Yep. Nice to see you, Steve. How's it going?
It's all good, thanks. A little bit busy with work and a few other odds and ends. Enough to keep the sawdust flowing.
Yeah, you've had plenty of workshop time.
Yeah, I've had a bit of time, but not too much.
Can I guess what the time you have had in there been doing?
I've finished off the crackers.
Yeah, I was going to guess that.
And I made a little something I should be working on in the new year.
What prototype?
Yeah, sort of. And it is a little goblet.
Where's the rest of it?
That's a tiny little goblet.
Can't you turn proper size things?
So that's going to be hopefully a goblet within a goblet.
Oh, I know what. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like Russian doll goblets.
No.
He's going to put
in the stem of the goblet. You have an opening. And you have a smaller goblet in the middle of it, using two different woods.
We do this. A couple of the bobbin makers do the same with bobbins. They'll have a little bobbin in a big bobbin.
Yeah.
So when you go for a big goblet with a little goblet in the stem, and then there's a little goblet in the little goblet stem.
Yeah, I ain't that good yet. But I saw that on the Woodturning magazine a couple of months ago, last month, and I thought I'll give it a go. So I've done the prototype of the little goblets. So that's something I've got to work on. Hopefully in the new year. In relation to the crackers, I've been and bought 13 logs of yew.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. So, 13 logs I've bought, so I can then create them into crackers, hopefully.
Do you put anything in the crackers?
I don't know.
But you leave that for whoever has them.
I'll leave that as empty.
Just love.
Yeah, a bit of blood sometimes, if it all goes wrong. It's a hollow box, basically, with a hole in the middle of it, so that they can put in what they want to do, and a snap, and a hat, and all that sort of stuff. But the idea is that they keep them for a few years. I've had so far orders, so it's about 14 next year, and counting. My supplier, I sold him out of all decent lumps of yew on Saturday. So that's that.
Nothing to say you've got to be you, though, is there? Is a customer?
No, but I like working in that. I think the finish is nice. I did some with Sported Beach, and it was okay, but the finish wasn't the best.
No, you's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that particular finish looks good on crackers, I think. I've got a big walnut fruit bowl to do as well, hopefully before Christmas. It depends if I've got time. And apart from that, not a lot. So I've just done the napkin rings, which you can see like that, out of oak. There's 10 of those on a stand. So two stands with 5 on each side. So that's all out of oak. Yeah, so apart from that, not a lot, not too much at the moment.
I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Your tiny little goblet,
yes,
that would scare the life out of me because I would just snap it in seconds.
I did one.
Because I have absolutely no finesse whatsoever. What tools did you actually turn that with?
I used the actual inside of the goblet. I used a 6mm spindle gouge.
Yeah, okay.
So I just burrowed it in as such, and then just shaped it. And on the outside, I used a 12mm skew chisel.
Yeah, very good. And how are you getting on with your skew, Garry? You picking it up still?
What skew? That was the answer to the question. Will.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
no, yeah. The practicing stopped after about 10 days, and I have used it. I've definitely used it more than I would have done before the course. Put it that way. And I've done some things with it that I wouldn't have done before the course. So at the end of the day, it was definitely. I only thought the other day I don't use it enough, but I'm definitely more confident with it, and I'll use it more than I did before. So I convinced myself I'd done the right thing going on the course.
Yeah.
As opposed to just going on the course, doing it for 10 days and then not using it anymore. I definitely learned on the course, so it was worthwhile. I would like to sort of use it more, and I will do going forward. But yeah, I'm
very good. Another question for you, Steve. I won't ask you where you got it from, but how much do you pay for it?
The blanks I paid for last year, I actually got it as blanks, or this year I should say. They were 3.5-inch square by under 13-inch long, and they were $12.50 each.
Yeah, that's good.
The logs I got, which are all seasoned and sealed, are £7 each, and they are 14, 14 inches long.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, that should be more than enough, and by about 3.5, 4 inches round.
Yeah, no. I ran into a post on Facebook over the weekend, and somebody was selling a pallet of yew, all different sizes, some really big stuff, some smaller branches. And so I was like, okay, how much do you want for it? She said £280. I was thinking, £280? That's probably not that bad. I was going, how much deliver it? Oh, we don't deliver. I was like, okay, let's end the conversation. But
Whereabouts were they?
they were like somewhere in the Midlands. It was all seasoned, and I probably would have had that otherwise.
But you know what? It's surprising these days. I was looking the other day. These firms that you can book to go and pick stuff up, like delivery firms. I think it's someone will know. It's something Monkey, where it's like a comparison site for deliveries and whatever. And you put in the dimensions and the weight and whatever, and you'll be surprised. It's not as expensive as you think, to be honest.
No, when I was buying stuff from Brown Lumber, and I hadn't put an order in for ages because I'm still using up some of the wood, to be honest. And I think that was £7 a pallet he was charging for delivery, and that was from Cornwall way, which is pretty good, you know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, really good.
£7 a pallet from Cornwall.
Jesus. Yeah. So I just used to send him £100, and he knew what I wanted because I wanted all stuff for resining.
Yeah.
So he would save all the bits and pieces like that and just shove it as soon as he had a big enough I'd just give him £100 and he'd send them.
But if my nan was still alive, I could have put her on a pallet from Cornwall and saved me the train fare, brought her up for Christmas. £7. Jesus Christ. That is real cheap. Can't believe that.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
It cost me £25 to ship a unicycle to the Outer Hebrides the other week.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I'd be able to get anything up there. But DEHL, DPD, one of those two, did it no problem at all. So it's not,
No,
get to Scotland, go further, get to the ocean, go even further. And that's where they were, sort of thing.
Right.
You're lucky you found a delivery firm with geezer who could ride it all that way.
Yeah. You decided you couldn't ride it anymore, Mark.
It's amazing what Just Eat does these days.
Yeah.
Mark didn't like it after he lost the saddle. A bit painful. You said you'd had it for a while, didn't you? You've had it for a long time, but you just...
The unicycle? Yeah, no, I bought it with the intention of learning how to use it, and then it didn't. It went along with the stilt walking, and I picked the stilt walking up pretty quickly, but I couldn't get on with the unicycle. So, no, that went finally. Stopped cluttering up the house and the workshop there. So
yeah, very good.
Yeah. So what you been up to then, Gary?
To be honest, I had a bit of a list to get through, different people. I had some usual sort of boring things to do for crochet stuff, and then I had an incense burner thing to get done for one of my mates. It was actually one of the guys, Mike Avage or something his name is, and he done demos at Sandon every now and again, and he done it a while ago. It was just like an incense, one of those backflow incense burners, and he puts like as in a glass tube, so it's really cool because it just sort of, the smoke sort of gets sucked down, and because you've got normally with those things they're on like a Chinese-y sort of little looking stand, and it goes down the steps because the smoke comes down the steps like that, but you've always got the sort of impact of any draft that's going past it, whereas the way he done it, because you've got a glass tube, there's just no draft at all, so literally the smoke would just sort of like come out of the tube at the top inside. I just put like a pen inside pen turning tube. I put one of those in, a bit of wood inside, and then it goes down there, it drops out the bottom, and then I just turn something in the bottom part of the wood that's almost like a bird bath bowl, so the smoke comes down, fills up the bird bath, and then just flows over the edge. But because there's no draft because of the glass tube, it comes down lovely and straight. It's quite good to watch. And my mate wanted one for Christmas or for his missus, so I done that, got that rattled off, and then getting prepared for next week. Another little item which I don't think we're allowed to talk about.
3 out of the 4 of us have got little items to make for next week.
Yeah,
you hoping to walk away with the trophy I've got?
Well, it's the only one I can go in for. So
it is actually.
It depends. It depends how it goes. If it goes wrong, I won't have anything. So
I've not started. The segmented one I have started doing, but that takes weeks to gluing up and getting things right. Yeah. You got anything going into the segmented one, Steve? Or are you going plain and decorated?
Yeah, sort of. Just need polishing up a little bit or cleaning up a little bit now. Something I worked on a long time ago, so I should put that in there.
I do think, right, so that, like I just said, my thing, if I get it finished, I'll take it, and it's more the fact if nothing goes wrong with it by the time I finish it. And I think that's the one line since I've been doing woodturning, the line comes back to me more and more and more. It's never done until it's done. It can literally be the absolute last thing you're doing, and you screw the whole thing up. And so I don't like to think, it's going to be great, because I know that could be the next bit, could be the bit, drop it or something. And it's just so, it can be so frustrating. But it's like once I've actually finished something proper, then I think, oh, thank God for that. It's that little element of relief that I didn't screw it up.
Yeah, I'm all right when you get to the sand in the bottom bit, and then I can kind of breathe a bit.
And actually, sometimes when you're doing that right, even if you slip round the side and it scuffs up the edge, and you go, no.
Yeah.
Especially with things like the segmented stuff, you know, and any moment one of those glue joints could fail.
That's true.
It's the guys that do I haven't tried it, but it's the guys that do the segmented stuff with the gaps between each piece.
Yeah.
So there's no direct glue joint. Oh, that would terrify me, because you're right. All you need to do is just one tiny little catch and it's going to explode.
I was literally doing something this week, right? And it was almost like an offcuts thing I had ages ago. I'd done these little coloured blocks, and then I was trying to glue them around a central bit of wood, then fill that with resin, so it almost then take out the middle, so it looked like a lamp type thing. And I had some little chunks of the little coloured bits left, so I just chucked them in a pot, chucked some white stuff in around it. So it's just like a little yogurt, a bit bigger than a yogurt pot. And I thought, I just need to get that turned. What am I going to do with it? So I started turning it, and then it started to sort of like evolve into a shape that's like an apple. And I thought, actually, yeah. And where I'd put a bit of wood into the pot when it went off, I was using that as the tenon, if you like. And I thought, right, okay, I need to flip it around the other way. So I put a glue block on the bottom. I thought, right, I'll do that way round first, turn the inside out, blah, blah, blah. So it was coming out, and I'd sort of sanded the top half of it. And I was thinking, actually, yeah, it looks pretty good. I thought, I'm just going to take off the front of the tenon, and then I'll flip it round. Just as I was doing it, off the glue box, straight on the floor, rolling across the workshop floor.
Yeah, soul destroying, isn't it?
Oh, mate.
Does that mean it's now textured?
Sorry?
Does that mean it's now got
texture.
textured outside?
Yeah.
It's it's so frustrating. It's like
So
I just
with your
put it to the side.
segments, guys, what are you using to cut your segments with? I know you've got a proper table saw, Mark, haven't you?
So normally you would do a segment which is a prism or a pyramid type looking thing, but I've decided I can't be bothered with that, and they're all rectangles, so you could do that on anything. The problem with traditional segmented, you have to divide how many diameter of the ring by how many segments you want in the ring. That will give you the angle that you need for each cut, and you've got to get every single cut exactly perfect and exactly the same, and I just cannot be bothered. I'm not precise enough. Table saw is not good enough. Miter saw is not good. Well, they are, but I'm just rubbish at it. So this time I decided, no, it's a combination of normal woods and my layered laminated pen blank offcuts that I'm using. They're already rectangular, so I just took one of those sizes, cut everything else to the same size, and I've done something.
And you put it in through the planer or the thickness?
No.
That's just stock, is it?
So as you glue each piece to the previous piece, and it's going to make quite a large square. Then I'll bandsaw it into a circle. Then I'll put it on the. The only bit you need perfectly flat is where you're going to attach, or where I'm going to attach, where the mortise is going to be on it, because it's only about 20 mil thick, so it's not very thick. So that bit will be nice and flat and clean, but the rest of it's going to be turned, so you don't need to put it through the thicknesser.
Last time I done a segmented, I did an urn for a friend of mine, their dog, because I didn't have a steady rest or anything like that. What I did, I actually glued it and turned it segment by segment. So I put the base on, turned that with a couple of layers on, glued, and I used mahogany base, I think it was, or no, lime base with mahogany and beech, I think it was, layers. So I put a layer of the mahogany, then the turned that square at the top, flat at the top, then added on the layer of beech, turned that inside and outside, and literally just worked up until I got to the very top. And that worked out quite nicely, because it was nice and smooth on the inside. Sanded like that, but I didn't get any vibration either.
That's the same process I did with I did a pepper pot that was oversized. It was 35 centimeters tall, and that's the process I did. So each one, that's not gonna work, is it?
No.
For those of you who are listening, I'm trying to attempt to show the people, to show everyone else. So each segment is then...
Yeah, okay.
And you use the tailstock almost as a clamp. So you clamp each, there you go. And then you turn a couple, glue a couple more on.
Yeah, okay.
Turn a couple more. That's one way of doing it. But no, you've got to be precise with those segments, and there's nothing in the competition rules that says you have to do the segments in any particular shape. So like rectangular.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think I've done that before as well. I'll do it.
It's a better shape than the urn that I made. I was a bit unsure.
Fun to make. So I made that in. So I turned virtually each layer. Yeah, I turned each layer as I was going up. So rather than using a steady rest, which I've got the wheels for, just haven't got the inclination to make it yet.
That supposes segmented category anyway. That's just any sort of laminate, isn't it? Because the thing I'd done last year for it was just laminated.
Yeah, I think you can get away with Celtic patterns being put in things and that sort of jazz.
I just had straight lamination done twice, and so it's like squares or whatever.
Yeah, it was really effective though, because yours was the laburnum with. Was it ash or maple?
Yeah, that wasn't actually laburnum for a change, I don't think.
Oh, was that not laburnum?
No, I still got that. I haven't sold that.
Oh, you're slipping there. On the subject of sales, and we often talk about Dave on this podcast, we need to get him on. Do we know how he did in Colchester the other day? That's a no then.
Are you allowed to talk about that?
Yeah. So at one time he made a comment that he had enough for a Big Mac for the way home. But after that, he did sell a few bits and pieces, but it was more cheaper stuff, if you like. He had a lot of 3D printed stuff on his stall, and that went quite well. I don't think he made a small fortune.
I don't think I've ever made a small fortune at a folk and bespoke event, but I haven't ever made a loss per se. I think I've made a loss twice. No, I don't think I've ever really made a loss at a folk and bespoke event, but they're never events that you're going to make a fortune at. And he says that, and he's hoping to book Chelmer Valley into doing the Chelmsford one a couple of times next year.
Depends what you refer to as a fortune. Everyone's fortune.
Well,
is
this is true. Well,
someone might say a Big Mac.
I was speaking to a woodturner a few years back, youngster, and he said, if I don't make at least 250 quid profit, then it's been a shit day. And I thought, I've had a good day if I've made my table money back and my parking money.
Yeah.
As long as I've made my money back, it's been a good day out, because you've not lost money and people might buy something further down the line. But I don't think I have made losses, but I've never sat there and gone, well, you know, I've never done 150 quid and gone, well, that was rubbish. Don't know what I was doing that for.
He's planning to do a lot more though next year, craft fair wise.
Yay, more competition. Bad enough. Garry pops up every now and again in Rayleigh.
Yeah, don't worry. I only sort of do them towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I've not got that many booked in with Katie this year. Next year we're travelling a lot more.
Okay, so I have a question. Black Friday the other day. What did you buy?
Do you know what? I'll go. I was doing some research in the build-up to Black Friday. You know the story is Black Friday genuinely Black Friday, or have they raised the prices and 2 weeks before drop the prices and all that? So I was keeping my eye on a little 3-drawer DeWalt Tough System 2 little toolbox thing. So I just wanted a little set of drawers essentially, and I can't remember who had them.
I've got one of them.
One of the demo ones. He had the slimmer ones. Yeah, the Tough System 2 are the fatter drawers.
That was SK. That was SK Craft.
SK Crafts, yeah. But he's got the thinner ones. He had the thinner drawers, and the Tough System 2s, the thicker ones. So I wanted some of those. So basically, I was keeping an eye on them in the build up to Black Friday, and then obviously it spans like 2 weeks, really, doesn't it? Everyone starts saying they've got their deals. So I was watching, and then I was waiting right up to the actual day as well, and they just didn't drop at all. So, I was gutted. But so I just ended up going, all right, I'll pay the price then. But someone told me about a site, Camel.
Yes.
That? So you go on Amazon, find the item that you want, and then copy the URL, and then basically go to a site called Camel, paste that URL in, and it gives you the history of the price.
Oh, really?
On Amazon. Yeah. And that's what's quite interesting. So I was like keeping an eye on some of those things and looking at it like that.
Yeah, that was on the radio the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah, Amazon.
Mate, I don't listen to a radio. Yeah.
I do when I'm driving around, but that was on the radio the other day. Some bloke, some money expert was saying about that. Money saving expert, not Martin Lewis, someone else, who does all the research into Black Friday, all the sale price, etc. So yeah, he mentioned that it's quite a good, reliable site.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
do you know what I'm looking at the moment? This good learning this, I have to say.
Yeah, it's handy, isn't it? It's interesting as well, to be honest. When you look at it, go, oh, okay, they've had it that long. Yeah, cheeky buggers. They put it up just before that, and then they're saying they dropped it again.
I'm not sure if the UK law has changed, but when I was working in retail, you had to have it at a set price for a minimum of 30 days before you're allowed to change the price. Now, I'm not sure if that's still applicable or if it's only applicable in shop, but it was always a case of when we had a 10% off deal going, if we were going to raise the price for that 10%, we had to have it at the raised price for at least 30 days before we did the deal.
I think that is a shops only, because I think Amazon online selling, because it's a lot of it is from not in the UK, the rules are different.
Well, this is it. I don't know. So you mentioned you bought yourself a DeWalt little T-stack, tough system drawers. Yeah. Great little things, I must admit. I'm quite happy with mine. You're not the only one who went shopping at that sort of time. I broke my chainsaw last Wednesday. Finally died on me, and it wasn't exactly an expensive one, so I decided to go out buy myself a new DeWalt one.
Did you?
And I'm currently stalling to try and find the button that says I can share my screen. That one. Let's share that. Might work. I bought myself the... Can you see it? No?
It's coming. It's coming.
Slowly.
Yeah.
So will it turn up before Christmas?
Oh, battery. I bet that came with batteries, doesn't it?
Well, I bought their new battery as well. They've got a different format of battery. Still 18 volt, but it's, instead of using the 18, whatever they are, cells, it uses like mobile phone style batteries. So they're thin, flat ones. Apparently they last twice as long or something. But I haven't used it yet. I only turned up this morning. I'm going to crack on with that tomorrow.
I've got a little cordless, like Black and Decker, not very big, just to cut limbs off and things like that.
Tree limbs.
And I've got a huge chainsaw that's not
to cut off elephant limbs.
Yeah, go big,
Just cut all an elephant's limbs off and his head, and then you can turn that great big round body. Put him in resin.
Yeah, that'll cast.
I bought a chainsaw a few weeks ago. I bought an Einhell one.
Yeah.
And that was originally through Amazon at $149 with one battery. I got it for not £89. If I got it with two batteries, it would have been $145, something like that.
Yeah.
So I bought a second battery from ITS for 20 quid. So I got a chainsaw, two batteries for 110 quid.
Yeah.
Let us know how that Einhell stuff is, because I've always considered it. Well, didn't used to be a particularly good brand.
It's
but they sponsor Mercedes F1 now, don't they?
It seems to be okay. I've used it. I had a couple of sycamores brought down to the back of our house or front of our house a little while ago, and the trunk is about 12 inches round. One battery will do 1.5 cuts through the limb.
Right. Okay.
Cut. So this is one. If I say one cut through the limb and one cut in half, and another half a cut through a limb. So that's not bad, and it's quite a big old chunk.
Well, I've got a load to process tomorrow, which is why I needed a new chainsaw. I've got, excuse me, dying. I've got a result. I met up with an old scout leader friend who he's the caretaker over at Ark Lane in Rochford. He said, we've just had a load of trees felled. Do you want to come and take your pick? Filled the back of the transporter up. So I've got to process all of that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not tomorrow. I've got a kitchen to rebuild tomorrow, but I've got to get it done sometime soon before it all starts going too manky. These are their new batteries, Gary. They're Power Stack.
That's exactly the same battery.
Power Stack, yeah.
That's exactly the same battery, apart from the colour, that I got for the Einhell.
I'd be interested if they fit.
85 quid for a 5 amp. Jeez.
Yeah, it's 5 amp battery, isn't it?
Well, that's nothing from DeWalt, is it? Have you seen that? I mean, that's a 6 amp.
I've got a couple of 5s and a couple of 4s, and then with all the other stuff I've got. So,
go on to the charger, Mark.
What, that one?
Yeah.
That's their standard charger.
Yeah, can you bring it up?
I'll tell you what, if you're going to get a charger, though, you want to make sure you get the right one, because one of them charges them a lot quicker.
Yeah, so the yellow charger is designed for the 54 volt batteries and will charge an 18 volt and the 12 volt batteries a lot quicker.
Yeah,
because it's designed for their flex volt system. If you want to splash the cash, that's a charging T-stack box, tough system box.
But the charges, the two yellow ones, you can get, they're both yellow, but there's one that's like a DCB 13 and one's a DCB 15. They look exactly the same, but one of them charges them a lot quicker. So I've got about 4 of them on my wall and 2 of each one. When you look at the back, it actually tells you the charge rate for them.
I always thought the lower charger ones were the black ones and the better ones were the yellow ones, because you can get the 4 stack that slots on the top.
Yeah.
Both of mine look like that one on the right there, black and yellow.
That one.
Or are they all? No, not that one. The single ones.
That one.
Like that thing there in the middle. They all look like
so that's one of their flex fault chargers, but it's black now apparently, not yellow.
Well, they need to change the market on it once a year, didn't they? And bring it up a model, even if they don't change anything else.
I wasn't aware they were owned by Apple. Well, that's what Apple do, don't they? They change the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah. I just changed the cable.
Yeah.
I was in the Apple. We went to Blue Water. Don't go to Blue. I went to Blue Water, and usual Christmas shopping. Tried to get it all done in one day, and the Apple store enticed me in. I could have spent a hell of a lot of money in there. There you go. If you want to talk expensive, Garry, what about that one? 15 amp, 18 volt.
I don't need. I could have got so many. They're just sort of like just recharge them when they get used.
Can you imagine the weight of that?
I've got it's fine.
That's going to be triple stack, huge. I mean, the fitting is here. The tool sit back here. Can you imagine putting that on one of their little impact drivers?
Yeah. They are quite tough though, because I don't know how many times my drill and impact driver have fallen on a floor off the bench or whatever. But yeah,
when that unstable piece is sitting on the lathe and it.
So did you get anything, Will, Black Friday?
No. Oh well, no, absolutely nothing.
Not even a large quantity of pistachio nuts.
Oh yeah, apart from a large quantity of pistachio nuts, which I'm still going through. But no, I've got loads to buy as well.
What, pistachio nuts?
No, I should be done with them now. Hopefully, I don't think my fingers can take any more anyway.
Sod your fingers. What are your guts telling you?
They're all in a pot ready for Christmas.
Your guts sort of.
See, this is why
don't
you
you
need
have to desalt them? Do you have to desalt the shells?
Yeah.
Will that react with the resin? Can't you just buy unsalted pistachio nuts?
Yeah, you can do, but they don't taste very nice, do they?
Do they screw up the resin then?
Yeah, you'll see the salt in the resin, yeah.
Oh, really?
So this is why you need to come to Woodturning next week. So you bring all those pistachios with you so we can help you out.
Yeah, yeah. I'll only bring them if they're like in the shell when you de-shell them while you're doing it.
And lick all the salt off them.
That sounds like a perfect job for Barry, who's sitting at the back of the room just de-shelling. I don't know who we've got as a speaker next week, I must admit.
But no, I haven't bought. In fact, I haven't bought anything for the workshop for ages. It's probably because I've run out of space. I cannot get any more stuff in there. So if you've got any space-saving ideas, then let me know.
A fire.
Yeah.
Sort through all that wood.
Can't you sort of get your wife to rummage through the you've got stored in there?
No, I've done that.
Is that a good idea then? Oh, we wouldn't let mine in.
Yeah, I can't ban my mum from the workshop. Her lathes in there. Be a bit unfair, really, wouldn't it?
Put it back in the dining room.
Put her back in the dining room.
Yeah.
Alive.
There's no room in here.
You can do one hand on the. No, I'm not going to say it.
One hand. Gary's about to say one hand on the cooker and one hand on the lathe.
I wasn't. I was going iron.
He said, "No, I wasn't saying cooker. I was saying iron."
You're going to get down on Wednesday, Garry.
Yeah, that's true. I'll get club round the head with an iron. I'll take a few shirts though. Might get them done at the same time. I'm stopping.
She is the treasurer.
Steve's encouraging me. Yeah.
You might find it cost you 30 quid to get through the door next week.
Yeah, I'm just an innocent bystander.
I'll just
stirring the pot while she's sitting there
at the door and wait outside.
How many crackers did you make, Steve?
This
year, got enough on the table.
Yeah, well, it's done for us because we've already got a load. So I only made eight this year.
No, you speak about having enough for the table. Did I read right on Facebook that you went to make these whilst on holiday? You said, "Oh, I can make those napkin holders," and then your wife lovingly went, "Yes, but they've got quite a few members of the family."
Yeah, basically, we're going to my brother-in-law's for Christmas. He lives in Hazelmere. When he moved into his house, it's like a little estate cottage, or was little 2-bedroom cottage. He had the whole thing knocked down and rebuilt apart from one wall. It's now a 5-bedroomed house with a granny annex and an office and a few other bits and pieces. And he made it, all the woodwork inside, doors, windows, everything was done in oak, hand finished in oak. So I got quite a few offcuts from there. And so that is all oak. This is all oak from his house. So we're going there at Christmas. There's myself, my wife, him and his girlfriend, mother and father-in-law, and then his girlfriend's brother and his wife, and possibly two of the girlfriend's children. So I was going to make 6, because that's like the normal amount. And she said, about making 10, because that could be 10 there. So 6 quickly went to 10. That's why there's 2 stacks of 5. Nice little job, nice little easy little job. So hopefully he'll like it when he gets it on Christmas Day.
When you turned them, did it start as a big piece and then you bored your way through and then separate each one, or did you turn each one individually?
No, turn each one individually. So that's all part of a plank, that big.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So you turned them that way round.
So I cut it all into squares, use a fortune of it just to drill the hole out to a 40 mil. And once that's done, and then I just rounded them all off on the lathe using I just trying to think. I bored into the middle using a 40 mil force of it, but beyond the inch thick that they are. Then I turned it round using skew chisel, shaped the edges so they're slightly round, and then cut them off. So I left a little bit in the chuck with a slight indentation. Then to polish them, I've just sort of sanded and polished. To polish them, I've done another little mandrel which just expands on the tailstock, on the live centre of the tailstock to hold them on while I polish it.
Similar to a sort of how you'd make rings.
A ring,
Yes.
Jewellery rings as opposed to napkin ring.
Just a very big finger.
Sorry?
Very
Just
big thing.
like a bare finger. It's a bit like it would be the elephant's ring. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a quick little job. Took me about 3 hours yesterday to make the 2 posts and the base.
Cool.
It took me about 2 or 3 hours to make all the rings and finish them off.
Yeah, nice.
It's not too bad. So the Crackers have only made eight this year, and they've all been sold. So I've got orders for about at least 12 next year. Possibly going to be about 20 odd next year. So I'm going to get a few more bits of wood.
Yeah,
How much you like them out for, Steve?
Depends. I bear in mind because I sold them all to friends and colleagues. So I sold them all at 25 quid a piece. So it takes me about hour and a half, 2 hours per cracker to make. Not too much profit, but
all your embellishments as well, all your little bits of holly and all that as well.
Oh, that's your wife does. That's her job, but she buys them in bulk. Buys it in bulk, so it doesn't cost that much. It's about £4 or £5 for the whole lot. For about
what I mean is you put that on there, so when someone buys one, they're all done up with that stuff on as well. That's nice.
Yeah, I
originally saw them. We have a Christmas market. When I first started turning, we had a Christmas market. I went down the market, and there's a bloke there who had Woodturn crackers. I asked him how to do it, how he did it. So I explained the fact I just started, etc. And he gave me all the info. The way he explained it, it takes him about 2 or 3 weeks each. He comes from Harlow. But he did give me his telephone number to say if I needed any help to go to him. But I thought I'd just give it a go. And there's a few people on my local discussion page that said, can I sort of sell them at the Christmas market next year? And I said, no, because he still sells them here. He still sells his there. And I don't think it's fair for me to sell his idea.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
So I'm surprised he ain't phoning you up if he's taking 2 or 3 weeks and you're taking 2 or 3 hours.
You don't know how long I take it. The first ones I showed him, which were the ones I made out of Sported Beach, they weren't as nice as the U ones. So it's not saying, I was proud of them, but they were the first ones. Yeah.
No, I don't think Sported Beach doesn't finish very nice, does it? Really?
No, there's no shine. There's not the shine, the polish.
No,
polish you get on you.
There's not the colours in it either. Yew is such a beautiful wood.
Yeah.
There's some real deep purples in it.
Yeah, the purples and the reds out. Yeah, that wood as well.
Yeah, so that's what I'm working on.
Yeah,
I will be next year at some stage throughout the year. I've also got a load of sycamore in the garage, which I've got to turn to bits and pieces as well. So that's another job. Because I've got that's about 2 trees in there at the moment.
I've been
turning a bit
sycamore.
Sweet chestnut at the moment. I've never turned it before, and it's very nice.
It's nice and smooth, isn't it?
Yeah, the grain's really nice.
Yeah.
Is that seasoned or wet?
No, it's seasoned.
Yeah, no, I've turned a few bits of chestnut, and that's nice to work with. Finishes easy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Even straight off the tool, it's quite a nice cut.
Yeah,
I've been just started the resin ones, and they're made from pine, Scots pine. So I've had that on the lathe, and holly. I've had a fair amount of holly on the lathe as well. making some yarn bowls.
I have done some stuff out of holly in the past. The holly I had was really boring.
Holly is boring.
It's just really light and boring. It's got nothing in it. No cap.
You go from yew to holly.
Yeah,
There's no comparison at all. I mean, sycamore has more features than holly does.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't. Holly is it's dust rather than shavings.
Yeah.
I find so it's okay to turn. I get a good finish on it, but yeah, it's not Instagram friendly, as it were.
No, it's not picture worthy.
You want to try turning lignum vitae, but dust. That is all pure dust. That is.
Yeah,
And it's quite oily as well, isn't it?
It stinks like it's like a fag, like an old ashtray.
I think that's possibly because you got yours from a house that was full of smokers.
No, it's from
my lignin hasn't smelt like that.
No, mine's quite old though. Mine is the last bit I turned was 1960.
All right, the not the last, but I have turned some old bowls from the 1930s, the lawn bowls, because they're either lignum or blackwood.
Yeah, all mine are all lignum. That's what I use. I use lawn bowls.
Yeah, I do turn lignum. It's bloody hard, but
yeah,
you can get some really, really nice lignum, something with real features in it. One of the off species of lignum, it's got some real depth to it. It's not as dark as you'd normally expect lignum to be. It's quite light.
Yeah,
but it still sinks, and it's bloody hard.
I've got about 16 or 18 bowls in the garage, lawn bowls in the garage from that.
Problem is, they're not very big.
No, I've got 4 lignoid ones as well, which I don't know what to do with them. I don't think they're turnable. So it's the last one I turned actually come off the lathe on the chuck and hit me in the face. Fortunately, I was wearing a full face shield, so it didn't hurt me. It just I felt it on my nose a little bit, but that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit wary of turning them again for a little while.
Gives you a shock though, whatever happens.
Made the shed a bit smelly as well.
Yeah, those old lawn bowls, they're just not very big. That's my problem with them.
Yeah.
I saw something the other day, it's a little bit of a side thing, but maybe there's a little link in there. I didn't even know you could get these. So a small version of lawn bowls that are proper sort of weighted and all that, as in you play them, but they were made to be used on snooker tables. So you get a proper set of lawn bowls that are, a bit bigger than a snooker ball, and they were purposely made. And apparently there used to be leagues and everything up north. I nearly bought some. I tried to win some on eBay the other day, but I lost out on them. Didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah,
interesting.
Perhaps
they're not even smaller turn.
Yeah, perhaps they're not advanced enough to play snooker up north.
But you've turned pool balls. You've turned pool balls though, haven't you, Gary?
I have, yeah.
Did they turn all right?
Yeah, they turn nice.
I imagine they're probably like it. What's in the inside of them? Is it like a golf ball?
Yeah, well, it's just like the same. I don't know what they're made of. I don't even know what that stuff's called. No. Yeah, I've done a spinning top, shockingly enough, which I've done loads of when I was starting out. And basically drew a hole in it, and then basically put a tenon in it, and then you could just use that as the spinning top thing. But the difficulty is getting it. A bit like when you're doing you got a little bit more grace on a bowling ball, but you've got to get it so central, because if you get it slightly off, like when I've done the pool ball, it on one side it slightly took off like the number, and then you can see it on the other side. So you've got to get it, and that's almost like one of the hardest things, to get it exactly like central.
Yeah.
But on a bowling ball, you've obviously got, I don't know, probably about 8 mil thickness to play. A little bit off. It's not so bad.
No.
And not only that, you also don't have to try and get it central with a number.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fortunate thing with a bowling ball, you've got the 2 caps. If you can get the caps out, you can use those as a tenon or a mortise for a small set of jaws. So at least they fit in quite nicely. Oh, okay. And also, because the bias on them is top to bottom, so it's centre to centre, they turn easy. They don't go out of balance. Whereas some people turn them so they keep the white caps intact. But that means that the bias says out of balance.
Yeah.
I took the caps out when I turned mine, put them to one side, and then glued them back in again when I'm done, rather than trying to turn them in place. Because if you've got an old one, they could be made of Bakelite, rather than plastic.
Yeah, like the ones I got Bakelite, or white Bakelite.
And I also tried to keep the text as much as possible as well. When you've got like Henry Taylor's written around the top or whatever.
Yeah.
and you have
Well,
to
you
be
done
precise.
bowls as well as wood turning tools.
No, it's just a different make. Yeah.
I know where you're going with that. I can't remember if is it Henry Taylor's?
Henry Taylor's that does tools.
Yeah.
It's part of Hamlet, isn't they?
Yeah.
Henry Taylor and Hamlet's all part of the same company.
See if I can find one of them bowls.
Right, I think I might have to shoot shortly, fellas.
Okay, well, we'll wrap it up there then, guys, if you like.
Fair dues.
Yeah, if that's pretty much an episode, I think. Anyway,
yeah, it's been nice to catch up with you, Steve, again.
And you too, Will.
Steve coming back for the next episode as well.
Yeah, I'll be here. Yeah,
yeah. Why not?
Good stuff.
Okay, well, in that case, have a good one.
Have a good week.
You too, guys. See you later.
see you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Ta-ra.